Hey everyone, it's me, Hero Forever, and today we're going to be going over the Supercharger update on automation. I'm going to be doing a full walkthrough with it. I'll also show you guys how to actually get the update. And this update includes a lot more than just the Superchargers. For example, there's a lot of UI changes, and overall it's just a really cool update, and I think we've all been waiting for it for a long time. Anyways, let's get into it. So what you're going to do is scroll over to your library, go down to all, and then right click on the game. And you see all of these options: add to favorite, add to, manage properties. You're going to want to go to properties. Once you have this opened up, you're going to go down to betas. All this other stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Once you're in beta, odds are if you're watching this video, it's going to already be selected at none. And what you're going to do is choose a version in which you want automation to be set up in. And I'm just going to do the very top one. Depending on how fast your computer is, it may take a while, it may not. I have a pretty fast computer, so this is probably only going to take a couple minutes, but I'll skip it for you guys. And now that we got in here, we can go in and go to our engine designer and create a new engine. New engine family. So this is a little bit different, as you can see. If you're doing sandbox mode, this really doesn't matter too much, so let's just do manual. Another thing to note with this update is you can see the valve train. All of these look like they've been updated. Now, I'm not one of those gamers that go on like all the Reddit forums and read all of the websites and stuff associated with this. So I'm just showing you guys how to get the update and showcasing it to you guys based on what I see personally. There's probably a lot I'm going to be missing over, but as you can see, most of these have been updated. Now, we'll just do 60-degree V6 just for the heck of it. Cast iron, sure. Now, I'm just clicking through all of this. This isn't going to be a realistic engine or anything. I just want to show you guys like all of the options there are if you guys are considering getting this update early. It's kind of cool they switched this up. Valve train and head design, they have a lot more options. Iron, eco, standard, performance, aluminum. And I think that's really cool because it simplifies all of this. Before, it was kind of, I think for most people, a little bit confusing, even myself at first. Moving on, this is the same, this is the same. I think the low friction cast may be new as well. Balancing mass, that hasn't changed. Compression, cam, springs, and lifters, RPM, that's all the same. VVT, VVL, VVL profile, VVL, RPM. Before we go crazy with the Supercharger, I just want to see if the turbo has changed at all. Nope, this all looks basically the same. Then we have sequential, compound, and twin charged. That's really interesting too. And we still have all of the geometry and bearing specifications on here. And now here's the Supercharger, and this is going to be cool. So over here we have the capacity for it, the gear ratio, of course, Supercharger tune, and the boost limit. And we also have the ability for a bypass. That's pretty cool. Going forwards, I just want to finish up this engine really quick, see if anything's different. We don't have the ability for per cylinder with supercharged engines, which is really cool because I usually do direct injection per cylinder. Anyways, going forwards, fuel map, rich and lean, we've always had that. Area is new, so that's kind of cool. Timing, I think before it was like a slider bar, but it was horizontal, so that's a little bit different. Fuel type hasn't really changed much. I think all of these options have been here before. The nitromethane might be a little bit different. I think there's more options on here. The intake has changed as well. We have compact and variable, so that's awesome. Headers, doesn't look like anything's changed with that. Catalytic converter, still the same as it's always been. Now let's go back to our Supercharger and check it out. I assume if you guys are watching this video, it's because you guys are interested in the Supercharger feature as well. Even if you aren't though, this is an awesome update. We have root, centrifugal, screw, bypass clutch. I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Superchargers. I was just hitting random settings on here. I don't actually know if this car is even going to perform well at all, but I just want to throw it into one of my cars that I already have made just to see how it handles in BeamNG. This is my version of the Dodge Challenger. I made it a little while ago on automation, probably like a month. And I thought if we're going to put a Supercharger in anything, shouldn't it be a Dodge Challenger? I noticed there are a couple things with the updates that don't really line up or like match. So I wonder if that can fix it. Yeah, there's really not much to say. This is just a quick little engine I made. It's very underpowered. It's very unrealistic. It was just a random thing thrown together, but I can throw it in my Challenger. All right, so we successfully got it into BeamNG. The color match is pretty good, and I'm really happy that we were able to bring it in. As long as the engine's in here, that's perfect. Yep, and there's the Supercharger. I don't know why the engine block is red. That's probably just something that automation's getting fine-tuned right now. And this video isn't to bash anyone or anything. Obviously, they even tell you it's an experimental mode. But overall, the update does look to be pretty promising. I think they have a few things they need to work out. All right, I should be a lot more quiet now. Let's listen to this start. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's slow, obviously. The other engine I had in here had a lot more horsepower. I'm not going for horsepower, I'm just going for the sound. Let's get a little bit closer. I noticed a lot of people in the automation BeamNG community, they've been complaining about like the sounds, like exporting the engine sounds, and they've made like mods and stuff to cover it up just because the engine sounds weren't very realistic or necessarily what they wanted. So I'm glad that automation took the initiative to make it a little bit more realistic sounding with the superchargers. Anyways, as the update gets closer to releasing, let's just learn together, I guess. I'll be making a lot of videos about superchargers and building a lot of cars, testing them out. And if there's any ideas of anything you want to see me do on BeamNG, whether or not you play or you just like watching the videos, which honestly, I like watching the videos just as much as I like playing, and I love playing this game. If there's anything you want to see me play in the future or do specific on automation in BeamNG, I'd love to hear it.